Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here. So welcome back to my YouTube channel here, and got some more sports news that I guess you could follow it under the not really surprised that I'm making a video on it, but I have all my Stampeders gear on as it affects the Calgary Stampeders, mostly all the CFL here, but given what's been going on here recently in the world here, the CFL has decided to postpone training camp, which essentially means that the 2020 CFL regular season won't be starting on time here. As you know, for obvious reasons why, I'm not going to say the exact name given the algorithms here, but world events going around here and travel restrictions, and it sounds like travel restrictions, even just internationally here, but just travel restrictions are going to be in place until the end of June here, and even then, governing bodies still say if you travel, you would still need to self-isolate for 2 weeks here, and given that many of players in the CFL here come from various parts of North America, in the U.S., and in some cases internationally, beyond Canada and the U.S. with global players, that's just going to complicate things to be able to start the season on time here. So the gist of it here is training camps are going to be postponed here. I mean, eventually there's going to have to be some kind of training camp, as hopefully we'll still have some resemblance of a CFL season here, because it's a great gate-driven league here. It's not one of the big leagues where you get mega dollars from tickets, merchandise, and TV deal here. I mean, you got the TSN out in Canada here, but definitely the CFL definitely could be on shaky ground if the 2020 season doesn't happen here. And as I say, a lot of our major Calgary Sports teams have had milestone celebration anniversaries here, and I mean the Calgary Flames, this was their 40th season. The Calgary Hitmen, this was their 25th season. The Calgary Stampeders, this year coming up here, would have been their 75th anniversary season, as that team was established in 1945 here. However, I mean, I made a video last week where I was just asking a question in general on when the heck are we going to play sports again. It might be starting to seem more clear here that we're definitely going to have to wait until later in the summer here to hopefully get some hockey finished, and definitely there's speculation how they're going to do that and have playoffs. I mean, it's starting to look more like the Stanley Cup could be awarded, in September here. However, it looks like what speculation is with the CFL here is that they're still committed to having the Grey Cup at the, in November there, as Regina is going to host the Grey Cup this year. And I'm going to say, me personally, it's looking more like, even before factoring in what's been going around here, that I was probably not going to be going to the Grey Cup this year, because it's going to be, even before all this going on here, I'm not willing to sell my kidney in the left nut to be able to find a hotel room. And I do have some friends, family, that live in Regina here, but given various reasons, I'm not going to suddenly try to bug them and ask if I want to stay at their place. I'm not going to get into why I'm not going to do that, but it just wouldn't be practical, especially when you haven't seen them for years, and it's just not going to work out for me for various reasons why. So it's looking like, I mean, even all my travel plans this year isn't going to be happening this year, given what's been going on here. But it sounds like with the CFL here, we're going to maybe have an abbreviated season. It would definitely make action more intense here, and playoff races more intense, if indeed we have an abbreviated season, because they still want to have the Grey Cup awarded, in the third week of November there. I mean, that date seems to be fixed because all the commitment with sponsors and other fans who were able to travel. But the fact that you also got the weather. I mean, that's another reason why they award the Grey Cup when they do, because there was some talk about even maybe under normal circumstances starting the season earlier, or potentially, have the season start at the beginning of May, and then have the Grey Cup awarded, at the end of October here. But in Canada here, I mean, even especially in Calgary here, I've seen snow all 12 months of the year, so I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, at least we don't have to take the NFL approach where it's always in a indoor stadium. But yeah, I think what it sounds like it's going to happen here is that maybe the regular season won't start until Labor Day. It'd definitely be interesting if it came down to that and have a 9-game regular season, or maybe a compressed 12-game regular season. But I mean, it's still, consensus is that season might not start till Labor Day. Yeah, imagine having the home opener on Labor Day. I mean, what I think they proposed was if we had a 9-game regular season, you play everybody at least once here. I'm sure if they started the season on Labor Day, you probably have your traditional classic back-to-back with your rivalry. So, for example, Calgary would be playing Edmonton back-to-back and then play every team at least once here. But then that means we'll definitely miss out on some games here, because, we might miss out on a Saskatchewan game, or maybe a Winnipeg game, or we would get a Toronto game or a Hamilton game instead here. But I mean, this is definitely not surprising. And CFL training camps have been postponed, and combines have been canceled here, and there's no exact word yet on how they're going to do the draft. I'm sure the draft might still happen, because I mean, it's not like in the NFL or the NHL where everyone congregates in a arena or some convention center somewhere. And I mean, the draft is still done the old-fashioned way over the phone here, so I think the draft will still happen. And by the way, the Calgary Stampeders will actually be on the clock, because they will have the first overall pick. As if you recall, the Calgary Stampeders traded Nick Arbuckle to the Ottawa Red Blacks, and one of the conditions of that trade is that they would have given us their first-round pick if he signed there, and he did sign there. So Calgary has the first overall pick here, and I'll probably do a video on recapping what happened in the draft here, as I know it's still going to happen. But yeah, just more sports news where I got to say it's either not going to happen, or don't know what's going to happen, or cancel here. But I mean, we're all, like I keep saying, it's a little solace to me when they say we're all into this together here. But this is just the latest thing of what's been happening here, and I'll make a separate video on about the decision that the city has made that definitely affects the Flames and Stampeders in terms of playing games here. But it's probably not surprising for me to make a video to say that the CFL has postponed training camp, and we don't know what's going to return here. But it seems like the general consensus is that Labor Day might actually be home opener. So I guess forget my plans for my 38th birthday here, because it worked out that my 30th birthday, when I turned 38, would have been the home opener of the Calgary Stampeders to start off their 75th season in 2020 there. And damn, that would have been fitting to have a game day on my birthday. But I think those plans are going to be shelved now, sadly. But that's the price to pay if we're going to finally beat this thing that's going around here. So anyway, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, home of the Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders, you just make sure you hit like, subscribe, and if you're new or returning, thanks. And thanks for the support here. I just want to continue growing on this platform here. I mostly talk sports, Calgary sports in particular here. I also do some personal vlogs. I do some attempt at comedy. And I also could make a video about just about anything here. So if that sounds like you'd be interested in watching to follow along with this Calgary sports fans journey, you know what you need to do. Just make sure you like, subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below there, or also my about page on on my YouTube channel to have other ways to follow along with this Calgary Sports fans journey here. So as I say here, those stamps go, and who knows when we'll talk about actual games happening here and celebrate something in the 75th anniversary season here. But as I say, I'll see you in the next video here.